So the most important thing that you actually need to learn before we actually get started with editing is how to actually get great raw files every single time in your camera. Now, for me, this is a firm foundation for the editing process, and I really want to do as much in camera as I possibly can. So that way, when I get home and I import these images into Lightroom, I can actually just get editing right away, and I don't have to worry about simple things that I could have fixed inside my camera. So we're here in Angeles Crest National Forest, a beautiful area. I come up here quite frequently, and I'm gonna walk you guys through not only what I look for when I'm taking photos, but also how I get the best possible raw files inside my camera before I edit. So the number one kind of tip I have for you guys for getting the best possible raw images inside your camera is definitely going to be noticing and manipulating light to your advantage. Now, this can mean a multitude of different things. For me, lighting is always just the most important part of any image. It's very, dependent on weather and time of day. Here we're, up here early afternoon to, almost late afternoon-ish. Not quite sunset time, but what I like about this time of day is that it has really nice shadows. And for me, shadows is a defining characteristic of a lot of my images, and that's really just based on the kind of light that I'm shooting in. Now, this is something that I look for day in and day out, is really interesting shadows and textures and colors, and I compose my shots in a way, that kind of adds all that into a single frame. I know that's kind of a lot to take in, but essentially what I'm trying to say is whatever interests you guys, make sure to focus on that as you're shooting. I know it sounds incredibly simple, but you don't want to get back and wish you took photos of something else, or you wish you would have composed something a certain way. The LCD screen on the back of your camera is here for a reason, and you want to be utilizing it just to make sure that you're happy with the images that you're getting. Now, with all that being said, I do utilize color quite a bit as well. Up here in Angeles Crest, there's lots of different flowers of many different colors, and there's a lot to work with, which is a big reason why I come up here so much. But for me, utilizing color, utilizing natural compositions, utilizing foregrounds, backgrounds, textures, all of these are interesting in a photographic sense, but you have to, kind of figure out what makes the most sense to you and the story that you're trying to tell with your images. From portraits to landscapes to lifestyle shots, they're all going to be defining characteristics of what makes your photography stand out or not. Editing to me is very complementary, and I think that paired with a great sense of shooting style and knowing what you want to get out of any certain shooting scenario, you're going to be able to get the shots and the edits that you want time and time again. Now, with all this being said, it does take a lot of practice, so don't feel discouraged or frustrated if you don't get all the raw files that you want on every given shoot. I myself definitely don't do that. It's just something to strive for at the end of the day. You want to make sure that you really are honing in on the stuff that you really want to be taking photos of. For me, I focus on really natural tones, textures. I wait for the light to get good. I don't shoot when the light sucks because I know what the image is going to look like, and I know that Lightroom can't fix it no matter how much editing I do. So take all this with a grain of salt, but I think what I'm really trying to say here is just to make sure that you guys understand what you're looking for with your photography, and make sure that the photo on the back of that LCD screen is as good as you can possibly get it, because once you have that, you're going to be able to have a strong foundation for whatever kind of editing you might want to be doing.